Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Full Force News Burst Live special with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic AT, brought to you by GeneralsJoesReborn.com. How's everyone doing? You'll have to apologize for the lighting. Of course, I'm on the road at the moment, so anything that I'm doing is going to not be at the usual HQ. So just so you know, I've just got back from assembly required as of yesterday. What an amazing weekend. You can probably hear from my voice how amazing it was. Yeah, I'm hoarse, to say the least. I've literally been up just every night till about 3 a.m. chatting with friends from at the con and everything. It's just been absolutely brilliant. And I'll talk about that and probably in a more detail, on maybe do a special episode on it. Maybe it'll happen on the weekly. But either way, massive shout out to everyone at AR. It was amazing. Thank you, Brian, for an amazing show and everyone that does an amazing job at that show. And of course, Word Burglar. And I managed to get on stage with Bergs and do his MP3J, as I was calling it. It was great. It was so much fun. And it was a great gig. And yeah, had a great time. It was wonderful to see everyone again. Massive shout out to everyone. Skeletron, Roma Collectibles, all of you amazing people, all of the great people and the friends and everyone. It was just brilliant. Anyway, let's get back to business because we've missed out on an entire weekend's worth of me just talking, but you hearing it rather than everybody else at conventions. Yeah, we are getting into classified leaks for the past week. There's been a lot of them. We've had figures that know are coming that are just kind of like prototypes or first shots or test shots, whatever you want to say, like whatever level of the process they're at. We've had interesting characters that we're not quite sure what maybe this is or that is. We've also had leaks that have revealed characters as well. But yeah, we'll be looking at all of those over the past however many days it's been. And I've just been getting people sending me images. I'm just I'll share them, but then I just don't have time to do any live streams. But we do today. It's Monday. I hope everyone's having a good start to their week. I know it's in the middle of the day as well, but you can watch afterwards. It's totally fine, and it's just me talking about it. It's not anything new. I will though have a little update on our listings to do because of the obvious leaks that have happened with these classified figures. So. Hope everyone's good in the comments. If you went to AR and you went to the show and you met me or whatever, or you went to the show and whatever, had a great time, let me know in the comments, please. I met so many cool people and loads of cool people as well. I'm not separating the people I'm about to talk about from the cool people. Met loads of cool people. Oh, and these other people. No, met some great new friends there, and also fans of the show came up and said hi. So. I don't want to say specific names just yet, but if you're in the chat and you want to shout out, I will do one. But it was great. Tim Pedersen, hello Joe, hello Facebook user. Now apparently there's an issue if you're watching on Facebook and you want to comment, it will only come up from my perspective saying Facebook user. There's an issue at the moment that's being ironed out in general. So if you could, I know it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but just put your @ maybe or at the end of the comment if you want to comment on Facebook. Otherwise, just join us on YouTube. But if you're on Facebook, it won't show your name. So if you want me to shout you out or respond to you knowing who you are, you're going to have to put your name in as well. I'm really sorry. It's only for those on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, everything's working normally. But just so you know, I'm just going to be calling you Facebook users. So sorry, guys. Hello, GI Bro. Hello, Chris. Missed me. Oh, thank you very much. Missed you too. Hey, I made a live one. Welcome back from AR, Chris. Thank you, Jay. Real Zim. Hey, Chris. Hey, Joe Barrett. Slice and dice indeed. We may be talking about that. Well, we are talking about that later, of course. Is everyone enjoying their Dragonfly? Not me, RKW, because it came while I was away. But it has been safely secured in a neighbour's situation. So all is good. Hopefully they've done an unboxing for me and I don't have to do any work. Just kidding. Manu early today, going to get me in trouble. Sorry, Scott. For those that were at working today, you just have to watch on the after this fact. Sorry about that. Just unpack the Dragonfly more than a little awestruck, says One-Eyed Biker. Incredible. Hello, Jeremy. I just got back from getting batteries for my Dragonfly, says Lone Dragon. Interesting. I didn't expect them to come with batteries, but what size are they? Because I'm going to get some in advance just to make sure I'm not messing around when it comes. Like last time when I did the his tank, completely forgot there were batteries involved, and when I did the unboxing, I couldn't do the lighting until afterwards. Miss you too, Joe. Thank you, mate. Hello, Jeffrey. Medic is waiting on FedEx to drop my DF today. Awesome. I'm excited for you. Jay's waiting for eBay. Unfortunately, so I'm sorry to hear that. Hello, Airborne's Customs. Hello, Stanley. Hello, Sean. I haven't said anything yet, mate. So even if you're late, I haven't really actually said anything yet. I was at AR, Chris. Marauder Matt told you about how this video helped me through cardio sessions. Hello, Matt. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. Lovely to meet you as well at the Skeletron booth. Yo, Joe, hope you're well. Evening, afternoon, morning, depending where you are. Amazing catching a stream at a decent time for a change. Yeah, and it's nice for the UK crew at least, isn't it? Or hello, Luke Poulon, Facebook user, but only because you put your name at the end of it. Alex Bizzle, also a Facebook user. Let's go indeed. See, it's working now. I can see who you are, and it's not just an anonymous thing. So everyone who wants to be really nasty to me, you've got an opportunity now to do it on Facebook. I'm not going to read it out, obviously. Hello, Ed. Hey, Chris, just about to record with Tim, only talking about issue 1 G.I. Joe from Skybound out this week. Yes, and I'll be doing my own little review on that. Thank you, Mark, as well, because we've also been involved in the sort of, what do you call it, the kind of like preview team. So that's really nice. So thank you very much to Hasbro and Skybound, of course, for allowing me to see that in advance. I'll be doing my own little video review on that on the day of its release, which I believe is Wednesday. Very exciting for that. Right, I will. Sorry, should we get onto the news? Let's get onto the news part. We'll do all of the fun stuff at the end. Let's do it. Right then, lots of classified leaks to get through, starting with, I believe, images from Bobby B, who posted these of what appear to be a cheeky little breaker build here. So it looks like we've got on the left-hand side, I believe, mainly footloose with some other aspects of maybe Shipwreck's head. But what happens a lot of the time here is they will kind of almost kit bash a little bit around certain parts that they may get. I say they, people in maybe closer to the factory vicinity, shall we say, or people that are kind of, buying these kind of prototypes and first shots and test shots and stuff. But yeah, so I don't know the builds like intimately. Just from what I can gather, it does look a little bit like Footloose on the left. And on the right, though, it looks like we might have what could possibly be some sort of breaker, which like a retro-ish breaker, which is very, very cool indeed, and very exciting if that is indeed what is going to be happening going forward. I genuinely want to see what they do with another breaker release, because obviously we had that. I really like breaker with the RAM, but yeah, there is that element of like missing retro bits and pieces. So even if it was just a retro accessories, I'd have been cool with. But this is a nice look if this is indeed what we are looking at in terms of that. But very cool indeed. Plastic Battles, hey bud, long time. Yeah, what's it been, like 24 hours? Great day to be a G.I. Joe fan. Good afternoon. Thank you, Benny. Yeah, indeed, it is a great day to be. It's always a great day to be a G.I. Joe fan. What we saying? Retro breaker, TF breaker wave, says Jeffrey. Is that Willem Dafoe or Josh Brolin on the left? I'm going to say Willem Brolin or Josh Dafoe. Either of those will work. I thought the flip phone thing that Grunt came with would work better with Breaker anyway. Reminds me of Rise of Cobra's Abel Shaz Breaker. Yeah, indeed, Ed. Absolutely. Indeed. Do you know, I might be the only person in the entire G.I. Joe community that would love to see Classified venture into other movies that G.I. Joe characters have been in. I kind of would like to see Classified figures from Rise of Cobra. Is that wrong? Because there's some brilliant action figures in the Rise of Cobra line. The movie, yeah, I know. But the actual toy line itself had some absolute beauties and was sort of, propelling the engineering, and, lots of kind of interesting techniques kind of were brought into Rise of Cobra as 25th was like happening. You know, 25th had its shortcomings, and of course, lots of 25th tooling was used going into Rise of Cobra, but there was still a lot of new kind of like tooling and new things being brought into that line at that time. You kind of see the development of the G.I. Joe toys 4-inch figures. You can kind of see it very clearly happening from 25th, Rise of Cobra, Retaliation, etc., and 50th and going onwards. You kind of see that like progression of development and how things are kind of going. But anyway, I would love to see them kind of delve into sort of like past movie stuff. Do you know what I mean? I think it'd be really awesome. I know obviously there are issues like there will be issues like likeness rights, so I understand that. But like, I don't know, I just think it'd be cool to have like an Abel Shaz, you know, Breaker would be really, really cool, because I thought it was a really cool design and look for the character. Sparks, maybe, I don't know, possibly Brian. Joe says, I hope it's a retro Breaker. Need him. Yeah. Or you've written Break It, which is even funnier, like he just busts things by accident. No love for Sparks ever. One day, I guess Hasbro will remember him. I know it's kind of like, but the problem is he's only really shows up in the cartoon. And I know a little bit in like certain comic stories have kind of reinvigorated that to a degree, but like I know, like he's very like hidden away a little bit. It's hard to be seen. But the name, just keep saying it. Just keep saying the name. Keep it going. Sparks, Sparks, Sparks. They'll get to him eventually. Breaker is rock and roll legs, stalker torso, Rocondo arms with grunts overlays. Thank you, Jeremy. I think it works personally as a sort of build for what would effectively be like a retro Breaker. I think that'd be really, really awesome. Cheers. And again, once again, apologies for my rather gruff voice, my Barry White deep voice I've got going on here. A Neo Viper from Rise of Cobra would be cool, but also the Night Adder figure would be cool too. I agree with that, Rexship88. Chris, I don't think I wanted that, but you make a good point. I don't think, yeah, until you kind of talk it out loud. There's a few characters, obviously, we don't need to see, but like, you know, I'm specifically things that are very specific to Rise of Cobra that we haven't seen since, like, you know, maybe character like the Neo Viper, for example, is a great shout at that. Night Adder is another great shout of that, for that. Black Highlander, love that name. Like the retro Real American Hero colors on Breaker for sure. Facebook user has said, "Woo you, my dragonfly just arrived. If you are late into coming into the stream, I don't know your names on Facebook because it's showing just Facebook users. It doesn't tell me your name. So if you want me to know who you are when you make a comment, just put your name at the end of your comment." And so I just know, you know, if you want me to know who you are. I want them to continue the 60th anniversary size price point with band members, Cold Slither, then Holograms and Misfits, Lone Dragon. I would be all over that. Love Grey Breaker, says Detective Dirty. I do too. I think it's a cool looking, even if it's just a kit bash or whatever, which it obviously is. I think it works really well for a character if they were to do something like that for Breaker. And then, of course, all the retro accessories, if that is something, and that's what I'd want personally. Cool. I'm going to use my Night Force Ripcord heads. Hang on. I'm going to use my Night Force Ripcord to head swap and approximate a Rise of Cobra Ripcord. Interesting. If it's a retro Breaker, wonder if they will give him a backpack like his classic look. I'd hope so, Tor. I'd hope they would get the other, you know, what do you call it? The other accessories in there, the retro accessories. Oh, Checkpoint Alpha. Okay, thank you, Checkpoint Alpha, for saying that earlier about your Dragonfly. I think Spark should be the figure that comes with the classified Vamp Mark II instead of a tan clutch. It just start really mixing things up. Cool. Gridiron has a breaker pack. They do, Chris G. But yeah, I'd like to see sort of like Hasbro do it as well. But Gridiron are phenomenal and they do amazing things. And yeah, it's nice to have that as an option, isn't it? Really, let's face it. We're very fortunate to have all of these amazing options. Anyway, that is those particular images of what is effectively a Footloose and, you know, some other parts maybe, and of course a possible retro Breaker. I don't know. We don't know. We have no clue. Maybe we'll see in the future. Some things we do know though: the Trench Viper, and here is the Trench Viper in hand. We can kind of see. I don't think I've seen the interior of the shield yet, so it's nice to see that kind of red tampo on there. I don't remember what it looks like on the other Alley Vipers. Probably the same, similar. I don't know. It's been a while since I looked at the interior of my Alley Viper shield. I only see him from the front on display. Finally do a retro 2-pack with Breaker and Flash, says Jedi Ben. That'd be cool. Chris, did you catch a cold from that crappy Saturday weather? No, Charlock. I've destroyed my voice because I've been talking. So this is the thing. When you go to AR or when I go to any con, I stay up all night talking, like all day long, talking. Go get food, talking, and then you can't move for like a yard before like you bump into someone else and you start a conversation again. So if you want to get from one point to another, you can't. It's just you never get to that point. It'll be like you'll get maybe like 4 hours into the day. You'll be about a third of the way through the room before you realize, well, I wanted to go over there and now I can't. And then, of course, you hang out in the lobby, in the hotel lobby all night. And we were up till like 3 a.m. the first night, 3 a.m. the second night. And we're up early again, like to do the show and like to have breakfast and to hang out again. And it is just non-stop. So I thought, what's the best way to deal with that is to, do another live stream where I'm talking constantly. Brilliant. Anyway, that's why it's not a cold. I'm very hoarse. Full horse. I'm full horse today. Brilliant, eh? I think regular Alley Viper was green and Crimson Alley Viper was blue. That does ring a bell, Rexship, in terms of the interior on the shield. Thank you. Facebook user says on top of it as always. Thank you, Facebook user. Like I said, put your name if you're on Facebook and you're commenting. Just pop your name at the end. Otherwise, I don't know who you are because that is an issue on our comments today, and only today it would appear. So just again, one more, if you want us to know who you are or want me to know who you are, put your name in. That's Facebook only. Gary G, thank you, Gary G. Is it the Gary G? Is it Gary G, friend Gary G, that I met at the con? I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know. That is a lot of peopling. There was a lot of peopling. Networking always happens at cons. Yeah, but this is like network. It's just mates who I haven't seen for years. Yeah, it is Gary G. Amazing. Good to see you, Gary. Good to see you, sort of, Gary G. And crazy to think that we're just like 20 minutes apart right now. Isn't that ridiculous? Anyway, it's a lot harder getting Wild Bill in the cockpit than those unboxing videos made me believe. Oh no, Ryan, that sucks. I will make my own mind up on that one though when I do my unboxing when I get home. Are these leaks from Des Moines? No, Travis, they are not, bud. These leaks are just from freaking everywhere. This is from the past week or so of all the leaks that we've been posting about, just kind of, this is more of like a roundup of all of them. Anyway, there's your Trench Viper, looking very cool in hand. Now, we move on to another, probably Weibo user. I can't pronounce the name because it's in, like specific text that I can't read. So with that said, we have these images of heavy duty, and you can go and check in the links. It'll take you to the post on our Facebook page, which gives you the credit of who posted these images. So the first few that we looked at there were from Bobby B, and these are from a different user in the Far East. And yeah, this is what we got. We got heavy duty front and back. So this is, I imagine, some sort of like test shot or first shot or something along those lines. It does look like they're holding hands, doesn't it? That's too funny. So yeah. So again, this is like showing we've seen this figure in full. So this is like, it's cool to see these, even though it's not like, blowing our minds in terms of like, oh, this is the first time we've seen it. It's slightly different. We're just seeing like, prototype versions of this particular figure. Of course, like I said, we've already seen this one. Jay Doran, yes, you were at Assembly Required. Lovely to meet you, John. It was an absolute pleasure. It was amazing, Assembly Required, and thank you for commenting in the comments. And Charlock as well. Charlock in the chat as well. Charlock, another person I met at AR in real life. Anyway, so that's heavy duty. Brilliant stuff. Then we also, in the same round of images, got the Legacy Firefighter. Now, this is an interesting one to see because we've only seen the render of this particular character, or I suppose it's a character figure, generic firefighter figure, not troop. But yeah, this particular I'm assuming with some sort of very close to production paint job on it, including the kind of like reflective kind of yellowy green and the silver aspects. Very nice indeed. Chris wouldn't tell me who he voted for in the customs contest, though. No, I didn't, did I? And I still can't say. I NDA, unfortunately. No, you'll. Which ones were yours, Sherlock? Just out of interest, and then I'll just tell you that that's the one I voted for. But yeah, let me know. Can we consider this proto art naked HD? I like that, Stanley, for heavy duty. I like that a lot. Oh, the rear is interesting. Like the tank clips are on rather pegs or something. Yeah, I think the tank affixes to the secondary, from what I can gather. Well, no, actually, no, I'll tell a lie. The secondary is on the tank, and I think goes over this secondary. So I think it's like double secondaries, I think. We'll have to see, won't we, when we actually get it, because it looked like from the other piece there was a separate belt and strap scenario that is not like this, but it could just be that the tank has been removed from that secondary. You can kind of see almost like where it would sort of maybe glue on. So maybe that's what's happened there. I'm gonna have to really look at the other leaked images of the backpacks, of the tanks, won't I? I'm sure someone already has. But yeah, the deco looks really good, I think. I think it's a really good firefighter deco. I think it's beautiful. Hi, Chris Nor. Yes, those reflective parts look so interesting. Yes, Paul, indeed. The secondary on the firefighter is interesting. I like it, says Sean. Yeah, me too, actually. Jamie Lynn says, brilliant job on that firefighter deco. Such a great reuse of snow job. Looks like a completely different figure. It absolutely. The reflective tape paint is sweet. It really is, Sean. It really is. Oh, Sherlock, you did Matt Tracker, Chabang, Overkill, and Zanya. Matt Tracker won best figure, no big deal. That's amazing, man. Can I just say, all of those figures you just mentioned were phenomenal customs. So clean. So the Matt Tracker is beautiful. Chabang was really cool. Overkill is almost like, now that I've seen that Overkill that you did, I kind of want that for the actual classified series, genuinely. And Zanya's great, especially with her little like smirk or little kind of like, yeah, with the little, little facial kind of thing. She's going to kind of go like smirking. Very awesome. And congratulations on winning best figure with Matt Tracker. That's amazing. Good job, Sherlock, and lovely to meet you in person as well, and the fam as well. It was really awesome, really awesome. Reckon it's real reflective? Be neat if it was. I don't know, probably not. It's probably just that kind of silver paint kind of scenario that they use on, like, when they don't do vac metal, but they get it quite shiny. I don't know if, I mean, it's as reflective as it can be. I do like the firefighter and his 50 pounds of turnout gear and waiting for the police officer and an EMT to assist Doc, says Sean. Yeah, well, if they're doing first responders, so something like that's probably going to happen next. Anytime, Sherlock. Steps Toys. Cheers, Chris. Dragonfly delivery was attempted this morning, but I missed it. Boo! I missed it. I'm in a different blooming state. Also, my voice is in a different state by the sound of it as well. Right, so that's the Legacy Firefighter. This is one, when I saw these pictures come through, I was very happy because I think this is a very, very beautiful deco. And I'm really interested to see how that tank works with either the secondary that it's already attached to, or if it attaches to this and we're just seeing where the glue points are, because it does look like that, maybe that top piece and that little hole at the bottom, that kind of like thin kind of like trench at the bottom. I could see them gluing the tank to the back of that. But I'd also, the fact that you wouldn't be able to take it off makes it kind of like, oh, I wonder how that's going to work. So I don't know. We'll see, won't we? We shall see. Right then, next up was this. Now, this was a nice revelation because it gives us a very good look at Darklon. I don't know about the head sculpt. I'm not sure if that is Darklon or if it's just another random head they had and they threw it on there. The fact that it's the same color as the waist insinuates that it might be from the same sort of like, kind of test shot, or yeah, this looks like a test shot to me where they've just got whatever plastic they have, Bosch, in all the different what do you call it, like tooling and everything. Darklon does look hefty, Airborne's Customs. If anyone wants to chime in on some aspects here that might already be known that I have missed, because all I'm aware of, oh, it's Shipwreck's test shot head. Thank you, Darren. That's what I was aiming for. Now, I did think that the head wasn't connected to Darklon, as in wasn't actually for this body. So that's really cool. Thank you for letting me know that it's a Shipwreck test shot. And yeah, so that's cool. Okay, so insinuation over, Shipwreck test shot head, and the body looks to be, there's some unique parts in here by the looks of things. Again, if anyone knows builds, then by all means, but I'm assuming that there's a lot of new here. I could be wrong though, because I'm terrible at identifying body builds and figure builds. It is my one of many weaknesses. Right, yeah. So again, I think this Darklon looks very cool. Interesting secondary. I love that. We've already seen his weapon, so he knows he's going to be coming with that. He is on the larger side, which I see Darklon as a big dude. Like I see Darklon, especially with, like, if you guys ever read or have seen the Action Force annuals that we used to get every year. There was one, I think it was a GI Joe, the Action Force, or it was when it was the GI Joe, when it went to GI Joe, and there was a Tiger Force story in there, and Darklon is in that story. It's a text only story, but they have illustrated certain segments of it. Like there'll be little panels that have like illustrations from that part of the text story in the annual, and Darklon is drawn in there as quite a, you know, I suppose like intimidating kind of size. So I kind of feel, when I think Darkland, I don't think like bodybuilder, but I do think tall, genuinely like, you know, beefy, but not like too much. I see him as sort of like a big dude. So I'm quite happy that they've gone sort of that way, it would appear, with this figure and making him kind of look a little bit, you know, solid. Cannot wait to see the helmet. The Darklon's helmet is underrated. And if you've been reading the recent Skybound Destro series, oh my goodness, couple of things on that one. I think they've made the helmet is exactly the same in terms of how it looks, but it looks so much more badass. Like I think it's an underrated helmet. It does look a little bit kind of like, I don't know, he does look a little bit quirky because he's got different colors all over the place. The helmet is like, doesn't necessarily match what's going on for the rest of the body, but there's something about Darklon for me that oddly works. And I think as a classified figure, I think we're going to be very, I think personally it's going to be awesome. And looking at this, I'm already quite excited to see what this is going to look like completed. Yeah, Max, we believe that is Shipwreck, the head. It's not the Darklon head, so he's probably going to have something very different going on up top. Darklon should at least be Destro sized. Yeah, I think so, Scott. He needs to be that kind of size, doesn't he? Bulkier than Destro, but not as tall as Gung Ho, Roadblock, Norgahide. Yeah, I have to agree with that. I think Sharlock. I think that's a good shout. I love Darklon so much cooler than Voltar as the leader of the IGs when Destro isn't around. Yeah, yeah, I'm just trying to think. There's a lot of Iron Grenadier sort of hierarchy. It's so cool. You know, you've got Sergeant Major, Darklon, Voltar, Destro, of course, and the Baroness, I suppose you could throw in there too. We haven't really had a Iron Grenadiers Baroness, really, which I think might be a cool thing to explore. I think doing an Iron Grenadiers Baroness would be pretty cool. And that's something we haven't really seen, you know, kind of attempted. And General Mayhem's another one. Thank you, Tim and Rachel. Absolutely. Or what do I call him? Miles Mayhem. Yeah, General Mayhem looks very much, General Mayhem very much in the hierarchy of the Iron Grenadiers. Absolutely. I suppose also you could throw in the Undertow officer, couldn't you? From the club, because she would be in the hierarchy, because she's in charge of the entire Undertow section. So yeah, there's a lot of that, and you could argue that the repainted Targat is the infantry, or is the squad leader for the Targats. I always kind of like doing crap like that. where a weird repaint just becomes the the leader of that group, like Latal turns into like a frag viper sort of officer, that kind of thing. But anyway, it's funny how we all have our different like headcanons or where we go with certain things in terms of like ideas and things like that. I do like that. I like speaking to people about what they feel about certain things and how they see those kind of things panning out, and it is interesting stuff. Paul says the way you just said there's something about Darklon just gave me a wacky idea for a parody of the Ben Stiller Cameron Diaz movie. From what I remember about that movie, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. This is a family show. I still want Voltaire with articulated vulture. Yes, so same, Scott. I feel like they need to do a if they do a vulture, it needs to be at the same level as Freedom, Neol. It seems to be that level of articulation and options and stuff. I feel like because of the wings on Raptor, we were sort of let down a little bit with the animal companion, in that if we were going to get one that is in fixed position with the mask on, we need one in open position flying as well, personally, is what I think. But I understand why it was cut, because you look at those wings, and to get it at that price point, that figure has got a lot of cool stuff with it. PSA, Rachel is not Rachel. I know, but I'm going to say it because it's on the it's the name on the thing. But yeah. Volta has a soft spot with me because of the NES game. Absolutely, Steps Toys. How has there not been an IG Baroness? I'm sure Lenny is working on it, says Rexship85. Yeah, I feel like with Baroness, she's almost there anyway. I mean, she fits in with the scheme. A black bit of red in there, done. Do you know what I mean? It's not like beyond the realms of trying to like imagination, trying to like force that in. I mean, she works already. But I think doing her like almost like in a similar style to Destro, like with some sort of like asymmetrical cape situation, and a slightly different design, that would be really cool, I think. Because obviously the deco would be fairly close, but you could add some embellishments, like they have done with Destro. I think it'd be really, really cool. IG Twins, says Jay. That's interesting, but like I don't think they'd necessarily be up for working as Iron Grenadiers, because they have their own team and sub team to deal with and lead. They don't want to be. I mean, they don't get on with Destro because they're both effectively, in the similar business. So anyway, yeah. Cheers. Darklon is one of my favorites from the later 375 line, so I'm excited to get him. I do wish they were including the Evader, though. I mean, I think they probably looked at the Evader and they said, is this going to sell with, as is, or can we just make a really good, Darklon? Because as cool as it may be, it's more like a Visionaries vehicle, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it is so like far removed from anything that I think they want to kind of do with classified. I know we're getting Cobra La in there. They could have made the Evader really cool, but they probably looked at it and just made a decision of maybe it's not necessary. But yeah, I think a lot of us kind of completists do feel that sort of like, oh, we could have had an Evader. We could have had an Evader. But I see why it was cut. Do you know what I mean? I look at it and I go, I can see why that was cut. Castle Destro Baroness, Castle Casual Wear, says Barking Fridge. That would be interesting. Rowdy Roddy Piper's another one. Absolutely. That's a good point, actually. He's also in the hierarchy for the Iron Grenadiers, definitely. I love your knowledge and the G.I. Joe education I get from this channel, says Jay. I know so little when compared to so many other fans in this that's why I crowdsource a lot in the comments. But I appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say, Jay. Thank you. Again, I support the 95 unreleased Baroness design for an IG Baroness. Ed, that's a good shout. That 95 unreleased Baroness could work. Different hairstyle, completely different design, the kind of netting around the top here. But I would like them to incorporate a cape in as well. I think that'd be really nice to that version. Visionaries reboot. Yeah, Jeffrey, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Sean says in the new comics, kind of seems like the twins and Destro have a partnership business-wise, at least, but don't see them swearing allegiance to Iron Grenadiers. Yeah, they do, but only because Destro beat them into submission. If you've read the comics, they were at loggerheads before that. But yeah, in terms of in general, like in all of the different media iterations, the twins are one company that are working in in cooperation with Cobra, and Mars and Destro and Iron Grenadiers are another company on the other side of things working. But so it's not like it's not like they work together. They work together by proxy. But the twins and Destro, if you put them in a room, it wouldn't necessarily be like we recognize you as the second in command here, or we recognize you as it would be no, not a chance. If they can make the claw look cool, I have faith. Yeah, that's true. Actually, the claw's amazing, isn't it? The spoiler's going to be a stretch as it is. I think the despoiler is a possibility. Step stories, because it's a great way to get that Destro. Flint as McTavish disguise from the comics with kilt, yes, or Flint in the disguise as the fisherman when he goes and goes and makes it worse for Lady J in Skeletons in the Closet. He does rescue her because she's hanging over the thing, and he beats them up and rolls it back up again. Anyway, that episode was shown at Cartoons and Serial in the morning on Saturday at Assembly Required. That was very enjoyable. That was. Chris, did you see the Iron Grenadier Baroness that Roma had for sale at AR? I did. It's pretty cool. They had a lot of cool stuff, actually, Roma. Shout out to Roma, shout out to Aaron, shout out to Sarah, shout out to Kenny. Love you guys very much. And it was great seeing them as well. Phenomenal seeing them. And I got to be the best man as they renewed their vows for Aaron and Sarah. How amazing is that? Shout out to those guys. Love you very much. Glad they are going into the 90s stuff so I can skip it, says Facebook user. So I think for some people collecting classified, a lot of people are hoping that something comes up there they're not interested in because it is just so much product. And I know lots of people, some people will say there's not enough classified stuff. Some people will say there's too much. And some people are happy to kind of pick and choose as it comes out. I like to kind of I think, I haven't really found anything yet that I haven't vibed with the exception of, the first Falcon, for example. Still got him. So what does that say? Anyway, Extensive Enterprises twins in the suit reminds me of the Dr. Evil and Number 2 scene about legitimate businesses. Yes, Sean, absolutely. The Cobra hierarchy is a love-hate relationship. It certainly is. Still blows my mind, says Scott, that cartoons from the 80s included front companies, weapons profiteering, and economics. So many episodes in the Sunbow series talk about that. It's crazy. Anyway, let's move on because we've got some other cool stuff to look at. Now, these are from the same user. Again, if you go on our Facebook link down below, you'll be able to kind of see the user name. But because it is in, I think it's Mandarin, then I don't, unfortunately, can't translate that. I maybe could have translated it so I knew what I was saying. But anyway, you can see that name in the link below. And they also posted this Claw pilot, which is pretty cool. Liking what I'm seeing here for the Claw pilot. In fact, I wonder when we're going to see the Claw in general. I'm sure it's next year. We're going to get to that in a second, Checkpoint Alpha. We're nearly there. Also, it looks like your name's come through on Facebook, so maybe that has been fixed finally, which is cool. So if you are on Facebook now, you might be able to get away from having to put your name in the comment if you want me to read it out. Airborne Customs says, Weibo user, there it is in the comments. Thank you, Airborne Customs. And the Google translation is the domineering tiger eats the ash and stands the corpse. That's the coolest translation I've ever heard in my life. I hope that it does mean that. That's incredible. Is this the Hiss gunner body with a new secondary? That's a good shout, Ed. I don't know. I have no clue. because this is the first time I see it, and when I look at it, I just assume I'm looking at something we've already had or something with new parts. But yeah, looks like it's got some aspects maybe of that, which is really interesting. Yeah. We'll be getting to that soon, Rachel, as well. So I won't answer that question right now. But anyway, yeah, this is the Claw Pilot. Very cool. And I love the little face in the bottom right-hand corner of that image. It's very adorable. But yeah, that is the Claw Pilot popped up. As well as the Claw Pilot, though, and moving on now to Jay Khan, who posted these images of kind of like prototype slice and dice and some masks as well on the close-up. But we'll look at the figures first. Now, we can confirm that slice and dice are coming. And in the listings, we will be showing you who they are, which is kind of exciting and fun. But before that, I just wanted to look at these and check it out, really. Now, again, I don't know the builds, but it does appear to be a lot of kind of new elements included here, like secondaries, head sculpts, masks, etc., weapons, including that one on the right-hand side. Can we look at Dice's like long staff with the blade on the end of it? Is that giving you a little bit of the weapon that's in the background in Nemesis Immortals image? I'm just saying. And also, those tassels could be put in a place that might look a bit weird, almost like antennae, or do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that's what is behind Nemesis Immortal, but maybe they are reutilizing that staff weapon for whatever that other figure is in behind Nemesis Immortal. Just throwing it out there. Could be, might not be. Just saying. Anyway. I can't wait to find out who that is behind Nemesis Immortal. It's like one of three, and all of them are possibilities, and it drives me mad when that's the case. If it's like sometimes it's like so easy, it's not obvious, but you make an identification. You're kind of like, oh, I see it. I see it with three different characters behind Nemesis Immortal. Anyway, that weapon may be a key to slightly unlocking that mystery. I don't know. Anyway, I don't need these guys to be vintage accurate. I like that they're a little plussed up and classified. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see, these kind of properly. And yeah, the toes have got that kind of little like bend at the end by the looks of things, Stanley. Yeah, they've done that with a few figures already, including, I've forgotten. I was messing with it the other day. Nunchuck, I think, has got the bend in his toe, hasn't he? I think he has. I might be wrong. But anyway, I think these are great. I think they're doing exactly what they need to do in terms of the characterization. I like the fact that Slice has what appears to be two kind of alternate sort of heads. One that looks like, I don't know, some sort of skull, or maybe even something really cool like that. And then, of course, the classic the fencing mask, which is pretty dope as well, which we'll see again on a close-up. So, I think Slice is looking pretty nice. Slice and Dice look nice. And then Dice, I think is there's a lot going on here, a lot of real winning maneuvers going on with this guy. So we've got like that kind of crazy axe in there. We've got that long staff weapon. We've got the sword with the little, the kind of handguard, which I could see Darklon rocking as well, actually. Wouldn't be surprised if we get that twice. Chris, did we ever find out who the sitting ninja was in the center of early classified package art? No, we did not. And I asked about that, and I can't remember sort of crickets. So we're gonna have to. There's still a bit of work to do on finding out who that was in the classified art, Rachel. Night Creeper, that's it. Night Creeper and Storm Shadow have a little lift in the toes. Thank you, Ed. You're right. Toes bent to match weapons, says Lane Dragon. That's too funny. I have such a hard time getting my creepers to stand due to that. Really? I've got three Night Creepers all kind of like in cool poses. I didn't have an issue necessarily with that. Orange Slice repaint would be awesome, Max. Yes, indeed. This obviously it looks like it's going to be the red and the purple for these two. But yeah, I think an Orange Slice, which I love that nickname for it, because it reminds me of like a slice of orange or a drink. Yeah, and again, like I think this is a cool couple of figures to be checking out. And Dice has got a number, it looks like, of different alternate head options. One looks to be unmasked completely. Cool, very nice. And then two different versions of his sort of classic, like mask thing with the, well, two slightly different variations going on. But obviously, one is very clearly a massive variation because it's a big blue dragon, which is amazing. But the one that I'm talking about, like normally, has got that kind of like vented mouth guard at the bottom. What I'm a little bit intrigued about is why they haven't done some sort of spacing in between the grid on the kind of like, make it like see-through basically. So cut out the little sections between and have those like little spokes almost, sticking out around the mouth. I think that would have been really cool. I think that would have been really awesome. And I don't know if maybe that is happening and that this test shot just hasn't, been done properly, or they've changed it or what have you. I don't know. We'll see eventually what it looks like. But because it's the other thing is it's a head sculpt by the looks of things. So it's not like, they could really do something without showing some sort of face underneath sort of thing. So it's hard to do. They definitely look like masks and not full on head swaps for Dice, not so much for Slice. No, Dice to me looks like the one with head sculpts. Does that just go over the head? That one on, do they both go over there? I suppose they might do. I suppose you've got a point there. I think you're right, actually, Charlotte. I think you're right. I think I've got it the wrong way around. I think you're right. It might be a head swap for your man Slice on the left and actual masks that go over that head on the right. Yeah. The middle one is his OG mask, Sean. Yeah, it is. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it does look like it might go over the top. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what we actually get at the end of this. But either way, really excited for Slice and Dice. This is a nice. Keep saying nice. Twice, nice Slice and Dice. Now I'm hungry because I want rice. Next up, let's unlock the listing, shall we? Obviously, we've got 2024 still green. I should really need to remove that now because we're well over with 2024. It's all green and done. Let's get to 2025, and you might be able to find them on there before I get to it. Yes, Slice and Dice is a 2-pack. CSTT Red Scare 2-pack, Pulse exclusive as far as we know, and that is another listing that we can unlock because of the fact that it's been leaked. So there you go. There you go. I have updated this ever so slightly to take off. I took off the unknown vehicle. The unknown vehicle is still there, the listing, but it's not in purple anymore. It's below Slice and Dice. So that was the last listing that we uncovered and added. And now we've thrown Slice and Dice in there. So there you go. Anywho, that's pretty much everything, I think, for today. I just wanted to jump on, really, do a little roundup of all the classified leaks we've had over the last week or so. Kind of stay on top of it a little bit. It's been difficult with the convention and what have you. I did think at one point, oh, maybe I can do a live from the hotel. No, it was just there's too many people to see. I just wanted to enjoy myself as well, and unfortunately, you guys suffered or didn't. Maybe you actually found it a little better this weekend, not having me yelling at you on screen all day. But yeah, there you go. That's pretty much everything. I will be back, I imagine, this week for multiple things. Like I said, we've got the little review of G.I. Joe 1 to do. I'll probably be doing that on Wednesday. We've got anything else planned that might be fun? Can't think if we have, but just the usual news burst reactions and what have you. And then when I get back to HQ next week, I will do a Dragonfly unboxing, even though by the time I get back, it will be, everyone will have had theirs out by then. But it'll be fun to just, hang out, chat, me talk about the helicopter, and you guys just sit there and take it. Brilliant. Okay, then. That's it for me. Thank you very much for watching the episode today. Before I go, I can stay for a few more minutes if you guys have any questions. But what we'll do is we'll switch back to single screen and we can do it that way. Let's do it. Right then, Rachel has asked, is that list in chronological order? Will Slice and Dice be late in the year? Yes, I think it is and it isn't in chronological order. So the left-hand side is chronological for the retail releases of 4 figures. They're in chronological order. So it would be like the top ones are already unlocked. I should have left the top ones are unlocked because they've already been revealed. The next one will be start of the year next year, and then the next one will be end of the year next year. So it kind of, that's how that's laid out. Then you have, and that'll probably be like February-ish time, Yojo June, and then PulseCon. That's your kind of 3 points. I have a question. Can you start over? I'm just getting here. No. Happy Veterans Day as well. Yes, indeed. Of course. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. 3-hour unboxing vid. It might be longer than that. Does anyone know the type of batteries the Dragonfly takes? Would like to grab before I open it, says Medic. Can you let us know in the comments? Because I would like to know as well. I tried to join the pit from dinner and failed miserably, Charlotte. Yes, exactly. You can't do it. You can't do anything at conventions. But for the most part, Rachel, the list is sort of in chronological order. When things get revealed, it's like that's next up sort of thing, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I can't think where they land. It probably will be middle of next year or towards the end of next year, but it's not going to be at the beginning. Yeah, it'll be a bit further on, probably. Anyone know the batteries? Airborne Custom says the exclusive side also seems to get released out of chronological order. Yeah, exactly. The Demon Tank for the IG team is probably too big. What do you think about an IG hiss? We did talk about this, Joe, not too long ago, and I weirdly like to keep the hiss as the hiss, and rather than kind of send it off to other teams and sub teams and what have you. Like, I don't mind obviously it's staying in Cobra for Python Patrol, for Crimson, for that kind of stuff, for Arctic, that kind of stuff. I'm cool with. But when it comes to going to the IGs, I think they'd have to do some serious kind of additions to make it very different and very much like an Iron Grenadier vehicle. Because you look at Iron Grenadier vehicles and they are like, it's just like someone's dropped a bunch of boxes and Christmas tree decorations on the floor, and they've just landed in a certain position and they've gone, right, there you go, there's a vehicle. And that's what an Iron Grenadier vehicle is. It's like you just drop a load of stuff on the floor and wherever it lands, that's the next Iron Grenadiers vehicle. So I think a demon would be phenomenal though as a HasLab. I'd love a demon as a HasLab, and then obviously do a despoiler with Destro as a secondary release and have them connect. I think that would be next level. How was my AR experience? It was phenomenal. Best con I've ever been to, and I've been to a few. I genuinely love the vibe Assembly Required. It is chill. It is smoothly operated. It is full of cool stuff. So you've got like loads of amazing product, toys to buy, all that kind of stuff. But then you've also got some amazing things to see. The Skeletron booth was absolutely phenomenal. Steve Kelting had 3D printed and made this massive 1-to-1 size Skeledrone, which I took pictures of, and they're up on the page as well. Absolutely next level. Steve is ridiculous, and that is beautiful. But then you have like all the banners and everything, and all of the display with the Robo Skull on show, the production sample, which is so beautiful. All the figures that are coming, the 6-inch figures, the 4-inch ones, just phenomenal stuff. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. The books as well. I took a video of the in-hand, gorgeous deluxe treasury editions of the Battle Action Force books. All 3 of them absolutely stunning. There's one on show to kind of flip through to see the kind of the quality. Next level, guys. If you got in on a pre-order for that, you're in so much luck when that comes in. So it's looking like shipping pretty soon in the UK and Europe and what have you. And then like late 24, early 25 for the USA. But again, guys, you are going to be very impressed with those books, seriously. And other than that, everyone there as well, just beautiful, wonderful, awesome friends and people, and had a great time. The dinner was amazing. The everything that happens in and around the show is really great. The concert, Word Burglar turned up, and we hit the stage, and I was his MP3J. I'm sure the videos will be making their way around the socials at some point. But yeah, it was brilliant. We did, we did Cybertronica, which I produced. We did I Yet to Drive It, which is the Roboskull track, which I produced. That was amazing. So the fact that he did a couple of tracks that we worked on together was next level. And then of course, like Rap Viper and his new track he hasn't performed live yet called Primary Specialty, which is insane. Kind of like a follow-up to Rap Viper. Brilliant. Yeah, it's all very exciting stuff, and it was an amazing night. Everyone had a great time. It was brilliant. And then of course, yeah, just like breakfast with everyone, and it was amazing. Assembly Required is the best G.I. Joe convention for my particular tastes. Smaller scale, but not like it's actually still pretty large, but it's just like it's so much more manageable and fun and just enjoyable as hell. It's great, and the panels were great as well. Like, yeah, there was so many. It was brilliant, and guests like Larry was there, and freaking Mark Pennington, and just it was amazing. It was brilliant. Ron Wagner, it's great, brilliant. You need to go if you haven't been. Make sure you go. Are you swapping 2024 listings page for 2026 soon? I might have to, Stanley. Yeah, but I don't think we've got. Well, I could rearrange it a little bit because we know that some things on the 2025 list will be revealed in 2025, but for release in 2026. So maybe we'll have to. AA batteries ×3. Thank you, everybody who said that. 3 double A's. Thank you. That's DJ Hype Productions, Lone Dragon, Max Blur. Appreciate it. Thank you. Luke Pallon says Dragonfly is showing in Canada. Mine is up for delivery, waiting patiently at home, just like that, sitting on the porch. Yes, thank you guys for that. Appreciate that. I mentioned this earlier. Slice was a Red Ninja and Dice was a former Night Creeper. Thank you, Figure Six Pack. I could see a classified AGP. Yes, same, absolutely. Darklon, Slice, and Dice are all major wins for me. Beautiful test shots, gimme. The wait through the first half of next year is going to be brutal. Yeah, because we've got, I don't know what to expect with the fact that they've made a very clear statement at the beginning of the New York Comic Con panel makes me wonder just how serious it's going to be in terms of a wait. I don't know any more information about it. I don't know why it's happening. That's something that I'm trying to keep an eye on. Other things like shipping information and articles that come out sometimes about this stuff. Toy Book usually get like an inkling as to what's going on, and I haven't seen anything from them yet. So yeah, it'd be intriguing to see how much of a delay we're going to be given next year. The Hiss is a Mars creation, yeah, but Scott, everything is a Mars creation. In fact, most of the vehicles that Joes have are probably Mars creations. Perfect way to describe it, Iron Grenadier vehicles. It is, isn't it, Jay? But don't get me wrong, I love them, but that does seem what they've done in the past. They just dropped a bunch of stuff on the ground and then picked it back up again. And oh, this is a vehicle. I totally want a demon tank. Agree with your breakdown on my Hiss question. Thank you. Thanks, Joe. I will say, I would be well into a Hiss tank for Iron Grenadiers if they did do some major retooling, like give the weapon on the tops a different look, and maybe have it, have some sort of connectivity with a possible future despoiler. That would be kind of cool. Maybe give it different treads, or I don't know, just something that would be significantly different and change its like silhouette a little bit to make it something cool and Iron Grenadierish. Charlotte says, agreed. It's a smaller con, but welcoming and friendly. Everyone involved with Codename Iowa are wonderful people. I agree. Comics question, says Jay. Do I need to read the Destro series before I start the G.I. Joe Energon comics? No, but you should, because the Destro series is phenomenal. 1 to 5 issues. Shouldn't be too hard to get hold of. They just keep reprinting them anyway. In fact, when I was at Jay's Comics in Iowa after the con with Word Burglar, shout out to Webber, shout out to Sean, and shout out to Brian. Went out with them, and we went to Jay's, and the Skeletron crew were there as well with us. And I was looking through the comics. I saw the Destro section, and they had 1, 3, 4, and 5 back issues. So it shouldn't be too difficult to try and pick up, or if you just want to get them on like Kindle or like Amazon, like digital, you can do that as well. But it's a great series. I would recommend all of the G.I. Joe Energon series: Duke, Cobra Commander, Scarlet, Destro, and the G.I. Joe when it comes out. I recommend all of it. It's so good. Hell, I would recommend you read Void Rivals and Transformers as well, just to make sure you're covering all your bases. But that isn't necessary. They do stand alone quite comfortably. But yeah, definitely get involved in the Skybound stuff. It is brilliant. Looking forward to the Bath books. Did Ben say when the Robo Skulls are going to ship out? Currently, at the moment, we're looking at, I think, the last update that was put out in terms of the cadence of shipping is, I think, currently the same. I think. Batteries in, electronics appear to be fine on my Dragonfly. Phew, nice one, Lone Dragon. It sucks so bad feeling like you're last on the list. I hope it comes very soon for both of you. Oh, what's that for? Is this about the Dragonfly being not turning up for somebody? That sucks. Sorry if that is the case. Are you doing multiple scales of RoboSkull figures? We got an all-in package each, so yeah, it's going to be a lot of stuff. Any news on the release date for Skeletron? Like I said, it's hopefully moving in the same cadence that they had on the last update. You can go on the Kickstarter campaign page, I believe, and see updates from there to get a gauge of what the aims are. And if there is any changes, I'm sure they'll make they're going to make a post about it and explain if there are any issues. But we're not far away, genuinely not far away. And I think once this is all delivered and in hand, and everyone's got what they need, and all sorted, I think everyone can breathe a sigh of relief and move on to the next situation. But I think one of the things that has been mentioned by the Skeletron team is they want to make sure that everybody gets what they need and what they ordered and all that kind of stuff before anything new is really revealed, or if they, going forward, that sort of thing. So they want to make sure everything gets done first before going out and talking about other things. So that should give you a nice heads up. But soon. Okay. Is that everything? I'm just going to quickly run through everyone. I just read the Destro series. Says Christy, it's great, isn't it? HasLab Demon to dock the despoiler on. Exactly. OMG, we need a Crimson Guard hiss. I wonder if that's the secret vehicle. Who knows? You'll have to wait and see, won't you, Jay, on that one? Gridiron has the specs from Ramen, so things are in progress. I'm missing whatever that conversation is. Sorry, apologies. Still puzzled why there hasn't been a Dragonfly Fire team. Are they handing out patches in their place? Hopefully, Figure Six Pack. Hopefully, it's all patches. I don't know. I don't think it doesn't really. You mean like an equivalent fire team? Yeah, like that His Tank had. I'm sure something that comes out will make sense with it, or maybe they're not doing something with it. I just don't know. I can't see anything on our listings that we have that would make sense for it to be specifically Dragonfly related. But who knows? I sort of hope we do with the Rattler get supplemental figure things that are like ground crew and stuff. I think that would be really cool. What a great way to do it. And add like a little group team thing to the, to the Rattler. We'll see. We shall see. I'm expecting Ore Striker, Skyhawk, and Fang soonish. Probably Thunder Machine and or Triple T as well. All good shouts, Lone. I watched some of the Duke series on here. This guy narrates the book with the pics. Oh, that's cool. Port EVA November 16th. Thank you, RKW. Classified River Otters, codename Lara and Stanley. Please get away, my wife into get away to get my wife into collecting. Just got on. What did I miss? Everything, Samuel. Just all of the things. I've just been talking about AR, and before that, obviously, the actual news, which was just a roundup of the classified leaks we've had over the last week or so. Any news on Dawn Moreno, has asked AZ Arcade. None. And I'm still perplexed why we haven't got a Dawn Moreno even in like a leaked listing scenario, or, you know, I feel like she needs to happen soon. I'm holding out on Ecto 1 until we get some damn patches, says Lone Dragon. That's quite hilarious. There is a HasLab Ghostbusters patch, by the way, which we got, thankfully, for going into a panel, which was brilliant. I need a Gaucho helicopter mechanic. That would be brilliant, Rachel. That would be brilliant. What a great way to do Gaucho. Easy repaint with Gung Ho. Maybe give him a different head sculpt to kind of switch it up a little bit. And 100%, yeah, that would go perfectly with the Dragonfly coming out, wouldn't it? Gridiron going all in on Dragonfly and Rattler Ground Crew stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's what we need. I'd love to see a pilot's jacket come out with the Rattler patches on it for us to buy. Yeah, that actually is not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. A supplemental jacket to go with our patches. Interesting fact, says Jay. The Dragonfly is based on the real-life AT-01 Cobra. Indeed, Jay. Thank you for the extra. And knowing is some... I can't remember what the term is because I've never heard it before. Just kidding. SAS Blades as an ordnance specialist is not a bad shout, actually, Figure 6. That is a really good shout. Exactly. We know those GB patches exist, says Lone, yeah. Tip for family, but one of those landing launch pads for your Dragonfly, there are only a few bucks, but looks awesome with the fly. Cool, man. Yeah. I want them to do a jump pad, right? Jump pad with like Grand Slam, right? And then you have the jump, you have the Grand Slam figure, you have the jetpack, which is just be reuse anyway. But then the pad could also be used for a Dragonfly helipad, right? Now, it might be just make it small, right? Small one for the jump pad. And then what you do is you have on the back of it, half of it is half of the, like a quarter of the H. And then you buy 4 of them and you piece them together to make one big helipad. I think that would work. Would that work? You'd have to do, no, because it would be the same, wouldn't it? So you'd have to, when you plug it together, yeah, you see the corners wouldn't line up. So maybe you just have like a big sticker that comes with it, that if you buy 4 of them, you could then put the sticker on the whole connected 4 that you flip upside down. And you'd have to buy 5 because then you need a jump pad on its own. Anyway, I think it'd be really cool if you just did a jump pad and it just doubled as a Dragonfly pad. I think that would be so awesome. But that I'm surprised we haven't seen or heard anything about something like that. Maybe in the future, possibly. We'll have to see, won't we? Has a release date for Trench Viper been announced? I mean, it's on Pulse, isn't it? Doesn't it say when it's going to come in? But it's like quite far in the distance. Plus, they talked about massive delays, so who knows? But either way, it's going to be a wait. It's 2025 at least, but I don't know exactly when. Why does the Dragonfly have those yellow rear fins? Love a nice figure. I believe that was done on purpose as like an extra color break, I believe. I don't think there was anything other than that, but it was just to give it a little bit more interest and separation from just being all green. July-ish, says Joe. Thank you. And David Allen, great to see you at AR as well, bud. It was awesome. Always good to see you, mate. Right then. I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to get back to family things, right? That's what you need to do. Massive shout out to Skeletron for the awesome hat. I had a little haul, but some of it is like in the wash because it's a t-shirt. It's a 1984 t-shirt in pink, and it's amazing. But I'll do a haul like on the weekly or something. Anything else, Adrian? I suppose there's all my little hang about. I didn't go nuts in terms of getting stuff, but thanks to Skeletron for all these beautiful. This is a kind of like shiny. It's actually, you can't really see, but it's like a material feeling. It's like kind of suede-y, and it's got like again, you can't see it, but it's got a kind of like can you see that, the light going across it? It's really cool. It's a sticker as well. It's like a material sticker, kind of like the old Steel Brigade one. And then of course my attendee, Chris McLeod, the Full Force. How nice is this? These are like proper really nice, like hard. Look how thick that is. These are great. Like, yeah, like these, and a little lanyard as well. Anyway, that was my attendee thing. Like I said, I didn't get a load of stuff. I just stole things from people. So the Skeletron hat, the 1984 t-shirt from Word Burglar. What else did I get? There was other things, I think. Loads of like stickers and bits and bobs. A bag of crisps that I took on the road trip there. Okay, shout out to Paul Pamplone, Plastic Battles, because I just grabbed one of your stickers here, mate. I don't know where the other one is, but there's another. Shout out to Paul, Plastic Battles. There's the logo. Very cool. Like it a lot. And yeah, I didn't really buy a lot of stuff. And plus we're flying home, so I couldn't really put it anywhere. But it was great. Had a great time. The 249th anniversary of the US Marine Corps was Sunday. Cool. Thank you, Figure Six Pack. Shout out to the US Marine Corps. The swag was awesome this year, wasn't it? Absolutely. Like those old felt posters. Yes, exactly the same as that with that sticker. Do we know why there are delays, Samuel? We do not. Like I said, we've been trying to kind of keep an eye out for any information that kind of may come through on, like, you know, other kind of avenues, like in other articles, maybe explaining why if there's any issues we can kind of go, oh, maybe it's this sort of thing. Don't know. We just haven't got a clue, unfortunately. Are we going to get a Corey Cantaloupe head sculpt from Skeletron? Possibly. It was great seeing Corey as well. I talked his ear off, so sorry, Corey, but it was great to see Corey and hang out with him and everyone, really. It was brilliant seeing everyone. It was so cool. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day. I will see you guys on the next one. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, you know what to do. After 3, 1, 2, 3, full force with a full horse voice.
That's it for this instalment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/TheFullForce. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @TheFullForce Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.